Scott, stop the recording, please. Thank you.
Okay, so we're here at the Marlborough Library Building Committee meeting. Do we need to do roll call, or is the attendees are recorded?
I think the attendees are recorded, so
okay.
we've got it.
So the first thing on the agenda is to approve the meeting minutes. So the meeting minutes from the last meeting was April 9th. Those were sent out. Can I get a someone to everybody had a chance to look at them? Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Motion to approve.
Yep.
I'm sorry, who moved? Was it Samantha or Margaret?
Samantha.
Yeah.
Thank you, Samantha.
And Andy seconded.
Oh, excellent. They do that. I didn't have to retype anything. Thank you. All in favor?
Hi.
Any opposition?
Can we talk about them?
Do we have to do a roll call, or is
Yes, all your votes need to be done through roll call.
Roll call.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Can we discuss?
Thank you, Mark.
Can we discuss the minutes?
Absolutely.
On the temporary library, who's doing the upgrade for the elevator?
What company?
The city.
What company, or who's managing it?
Either one.
Elevator maintenance is doing the work.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Elevator maintenance is doing the work.
Elevator maintenance from, is that the name of the company?
Correct.
What is the problem that it's taking so long?
I don't know that part of it. I just know who's working on it.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
And on the demolition of the houses, are they going to do those soon?
I appreciate your questions, but I think we're at the point where we're at meeting notes. So we haven't approved the meeting notes. So are these exceptions to the notes, or these questions you're asking?
So they're just questions.
Okay.
Alicia, I just admitted Steve Leduc.
Oh, excellent.
Great.
Thank you.
So my understanding is the houses are scheduled for demolition within the next couple of weeks.
I'm sorry?
Scheduled for demolition within the next couple of weeks.
So, and they're going to do
if I could
for the asbestos?
Can you hold on just a sec?
Yeah.
This is Mayor Vigent. If I can give an update, it might clarify a lot of questions.
Okay.
Go get him, Arthur.
Why don't we do that? Thank you, Mayor.
Would you like to do that now, or just
Absolutely.
continue with the vote of the minutes?
Why don't you give your update, and then we'll deal with our technicalities when you're done, so you can go on your way and do other important things.
Great. Well, thank you very much, first of all, for letting me take the opportunity. I know you guys have been meeting a long time, and we've made a lot of progress. And the good news is we are actually securing the property across the street from the library, the other property on Witherby Street. We've negotiated a price on that, and with the approval of the City Council for the funding, we should have that purchased by the end of June. So that will be 4 properties that will be secured, and that's probably going to be it at this point, unless for some reason the properties on Gay Street pop up. But we're not anticipating that, and probably think we're going to be in pretty good shape with the 4 properties we have now. So that should close by the end of June. As far as the question that came up in the demolition, the update I have as of 2 days ago was it's any day that they should be showing up and starting a demolition. All permits have been taken out. All utilities have been disconnected. And it's just going to be the 2 properties at this point, the West Main Street property and the one on the library side of Witherby Street. So those properties will be coming down shortly. The other 2 still have tenants in them. Obviously, the eviction process based on the guidelines by Governor Baker and the state of Massachusetts don't allow us to evict them but we're hoping to work with them anyway to get them out in a timely fashion. So when we are ready to move forward with the two across the street, it will be all set. But I know that the one we're purchasing now, the landlord was very concerned because it's been a long-term tenant, and he didn't want to be the bad guy to let them know that they would have to move. But we're more than happy to work with them to make sure that we find them a proper apartment within the city, and I'm sure we're going to be able to do that. And as far as the timeline goes, it's not like it has to be in the next 30 or 60 days. They have a lease until August, I believe. And like I said, we'll be working with them and the other house next door. So that should give us plenty of room up there. As far as the Walker Building goes, my understanding was the only thing we were looking for as of 2 weeks ago was a sign off on the inspection of the elevator. Everything had been completed at that point. I asked the former commissioner to go up there and take care of it, but he wouldn't do it for me, Mr. Gantsunas.
You let me know that if there's an issue getting that scheduled, just let me know and I can make that happen.
Thank you. Don't you still have that signature still on file that we can use?
No, they don't accept that anymore.
But no, in fact, that may have been done. So now comes to the new things that have taken place over the last 30 days. With everything happening, it's just been really a whirlwind in trying to deal with this and trying to figure out where we are. And obviously, we all just want it to end, but there's no end in sight, and no one can give us a timeline. We were pretty fortunate in our building of the school that Tom was leading the charge on that one. With a matter of a couple of days, a couple meaning 2 days to go, the Carpenters Union said, we're all done working this weekend, and so we won't be in Monday and Tuesday to finish the project. 2 days from the end. Well, between John and Tom and the team down there, they negotiated with the Carpenters Union, and they came in over the weekend and finished up, and we were able to take possession of the building on Wednesday. So the coronavirus issue is really thrown monkey wrenches into a lot of things. I've sent communications to the state and asked them for a 2-year, up to a 2-year delay in the library project. At this point, we just don't have any idea where the finances are going to be in the next few months. We have an approved budget that's very tentative. The councilors know that I will be back for more reductions in the budget that's been approved. That hasn't even gone into place yet. The state is warning us that we could see a 15% reduction in state aid this year, which would be devastating to the tune of nearly $5 million for the city of Marlborough. And we're in good shape compared to most communities. So they've actually gotten back to me and allowed up to the 2-year extension. Again, we're hoping we don't have to use all of that or much of that at all. We are responsible for the additional increase in costs in going into that extended period, but it's just a situation right now with funding coming in. We're not sure what we're going to have for next year's budget. This year, we should be able to squeak by. Our revenues are going to probably be just a little short, but we've been budgeting very conservatively, so our expenditures are down. We put a spending freeze on about 6 weeks ago and a hiring freeze also. So both of those are in place, and they'll be moving forward to FY21 also. So that brings us to the temporary quarters. At this point, we've held off on contractor for the move to the Walker Building. We're going to stay put for a little while until we can figure out what the state is going to do with our budget. Usually the House and the Senate and a meeting at this point to just about finish up the budget, and we have a good idea what we're looking at. The House hasn't even met yet on it. They've just come up with some guidelines on how they're going to meet with us, And they're telling us, the communities, that it could be July or late July before we actually have what we're going to end up with from the state government. There are federal funds out there that we're looking into to see if that can subsidize some of the shortfall from the state. It's very muddy at this point. We're not sure where we are. So everything's really in flux right now, and my conference meetings on a daily basis, discussing this with different agencies and different groups, it just continues from day to day. Again, we're in fortunate shape that we have some money to get through if we need to. I've asked for special legislation that Danielle Gregoire is working on for us to allow us to use some one-year funds that we have available to us to get us through next year. But everything is really in flux. What I'd like to do is for the committee to move forward with the architect design and get the building designed and have it in hand, so we can move forward. When the time comes, we can just flip the switch and move forward with the project. We are not canceling the project. I want to emphasize, we are not canceling the project. We just need a little bit of time to find out where we are as far as the finances go. And that's why I'm asking the committee to put a hold on things as far as the move goes and as far as the construction goes. But we do need to get the design completely done and in our hands. So we're going to move forward on that and then put a hold on things after that. I'll take a little bit of a break here and be happy to answer any questions from committee members first.
Arthur? This
Yeah.
is Dennis Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
We're
Dennis, can you give me the, okay, go ahead.
presently, I think, scheduled to see a DD design done by first part of June, and also a DD estimate, a detailed estimate. And I think that would go a long way to show us where we are in terms of cost for budgeting.
Well, like I said, we're moving forward with the design, and we're going to have something in place. The cost, the total dollar number right now is the total dollar number. I've been clear about that from the beginning, and that's the number we're sticking with. We were actually putting together a group of people that were going to start approaching some of the larger companies in the city as far as getting additional grant money for the library. And right in the middle of the initial discussions, after 2 or 3 meetings, this started happening, and so that's all been put on hold also. But we're going to move forward with the design and have it on the shelf and ready to go.
But we are going to proceed with the DD estimate, or design and estimate, which is a detailed estimate. And
That's correct.
Should be in June. Okay.
Other questions?
Just to follow up on that, I think the intent is that we're going to continue the design all the way through to nearly the end, probably to 95% construction documents, only because at the very end of construction documents, you have to make sure the right date and coordinate some last little bits on there. So it's ready to go into construction. I think that's the intent, is that we bring the design and documentation that far along. Tell me if you disagree, Mayor.
I'm going to throw that back to Tom and verify. He talks the construction lingo a lot better than I do.
So yes, we agree. We're going to move this project all the way. We're going to make this a shovel-ready project. When I was shaking my head, it was to my son who was bringing me dinner, and I said, "No, I'll eat later." So I don't want anybody to think that no meant no, we're not doing that.
I can get down there in 10 minutes, Tom.
Yeah. We're bringing this to a shovel-ready project, so it is literally a matter of, dotting the i's, crossing the t's, making sure the dates and things are correct. If there's been any changes in bidding laws, et cetera, and then move it forward. We will proceed with the estimates as we talked about. I have to just put the caveat in here at this point and say, we're doing our estimates, and both from the OPM point of view and from the designer's point of view, we will be doing our estimates based on the information that we have available to us as of right now. This is a very strange position that everybody is in, and our estimators are literally pulling their hair out, because on the one hand, there could be, a lot of projects that don't move forward because of changes in the economy. So that could mean that the contractors are much more hungry and have a much sharper pencil. On the other, we don't know what social distancing requirements will be put in place, even for the contractors. So does that mean, as an example, you can't put 2 individuals in a man lift anymore, so now you need a second lift? We just don't know what those things are. So again, the estimates that are being put forward will have that caveat of it's based on the information that we have now, and trying to project where things are. Normally, there's anywhere from 1 to 3% increase in cost through escalation, just with labor rates and things like that. Again, we just don't know. But we absolutely have the understanding, Mayor, and it has been the guideline moving forward that the money is the money, and there is no more money available, and we have to work within the funds that are available for the entire project. And design team and us, the OPMs, absolutely understand that, and those have been the guidelines all the way through the project.
Tom, are we going to get a DD estimate at the end of DD documents?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
If you have any questions for Arthur, please unmute your mic.
Anyone else have any questions? The only thing that I want to throw out there is I know that, and I keep saying the number is the number, but realistically, we spent almost $2 million in additional funds already in securing the 4 properties. So, that's why we have to start reining it in a little bit, but I really want the design process to move forward. So we have it, as Tom said, as a shovel-ready event. So is there any last question? Thank you all very, very much for what you're doing, with your help, and we will celebrate this project.
Thank you,
Mayor.
Mr. Mayor.
Good night.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
So if there are no other questions, can we go back to roll call vote for the meeting minutes? I'll go through and ask if you're in favor, and you can say yes or no or abstain. How's that? Margaret?
Approve.
Thank you. Andy? Oops.
Andy, you're muted.
We'll circle back to Andy, or can someone prompt him?
Andy, put your thumb up if you approve the minutes.
Approve.
All right.
Okay.
Got it.
John Irish?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Dennis?
Only get one vote, John.
Yeah.
He was voting for me. Yes.
Samantha?
Approve.
Thank you. Steve?
Approve.
Thank you. Tom DePercio?
Approve.
Tom Abel?
Approve.
I think that's everybody who votes, right? Oh, does
Yes.
Steve get to vote? No, I don't know.
I voted.
Say that again?
I voted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Steve Carrigan. No,
No,
doesn't vote.
no, yeah.
Okay.
And is Vinny not here?
Correct.
I
Yeah.
understand he's not here.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. And
Hey, who's that?
the next agenda item would be the director's update. Margaret, would you have anything to add?
I do not.
Do you just want me to put a frowny face on your section?
You can put a happy face,
Oh, okay.
especially up here. Yeah.
Sideways kind of bummer, but
The
you know,
project is moving.
we'd all love to keep going. We still, but you know, we get it. Okay, design review. Valerie, did you want to take everybody through? I think we were just going to try and get just a brief overview of what's been going on design-wise on the project since we all last met.
Yep, sounds good. Hi, everyone. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm going to share my screen, and it's not going to be a huge update tonight. Just sort of want to bring you through what we're doing at the office. Well, really from home. Actually, some of us are trickling back into the office, but we're about 65 to 70% done with DD. We're moving right along, getting ready to pass off the documents to the estimators. So I'm just going to sort of show you a progress shot of where we're at, and then we're going to end with some happy renderings.
Good.
Okay, let me know. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Just now. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Hold on one second. I just got to reorient something. Okay. So we're just going to walk you through a little bit. We're just getting the documents set up and ready. We've done some code analysis on the drawings. Everything turns out pretty good, which is what we had anticipated because we designed right from the beginning for code. So this is just documentation that the building committee is going to want, the building inspector is going to want to see. Just documenting the walls, the floors, all of the floor plans. So what we're just using our time now to make the set buildable, constructible, setting up grid lines and door types and wall types, roofs. We've got some coursing dimension sheets, so it's a pretty, I'm just going to flip through it because it's a pretty boring presentation, just sort of showing you where we're at, reflected ceiling plans and light fixtures, getting into the design there, continuing to work and develop the exterior elevations. Something that we spent a lot of time on over the past few weeks was thinking of ways to shade some of the areas that have larger panes of glass along the west facade. You know, we talked about this in the beginning, but we've been working a lot over the past couple of weeks on how we actually achieve that. And I'll show you where we sort of ended in the renderings for you guys to take a peek. Cutting building sections, as you can see, the buildings stepping up in the site, and this is a really great section to sort of show how much grade change you guys do have. So there's a lot of building sections for this one, just because there's a lot of different levels, a lot of different wall types that you have. So this is just getting into the really nitty gritty. That was just a little bit of that. And then you can see some interior updates as far as accessibility and ADA. So developing the bathrooms, making sure they're accessible. Quite a few bathrooms. Starting to lay out interior elevations. So those are used to sort of tell the contractor what paint's going where is their wall base, where is their wall trim. Going in and updating some of the interior of the historic portion, the Palladian windows. This is all interior elevations. It's going to be a lot. And then we've got some finished plans, and this will be where you'll see all of the floor patterns and is there laminate, is there rugs or carpets, I should say, is there tile? So that's what these plans are for. These are also just rough starts right now. This is going to be something that we sort of will have an FF&E committee for, which is a furniture, fixtures, and equipment committee, and they'll be helping us to choose the materials. So this is sort of just starting the process. And then we sort of just wanted to end with the renderings. You've seen this, and I'm not sure how well it's going to come across in your screen, but if you can see, the biggest thing we've changed here, and it's really not a huge change in the overall scheme of things, is sort of thinking of ways to shade some of that glass, as we mentioned. So we went through a couple different schemes, or a couple different ideas of how to do this. There were some interior solar breeze systems that we were looking at. There were exterior solar breeze systems. There was solar shading, horizontal, vertical, but ultimately, and we can show you those. I have very rough progress prints of those if someone's super interested in seeing alternate options. But what we decided was all of those extra pieces were sort of clouding the simplicity of the glazing and taking away from the remainder of the actual architecture of not just the Carnegie building, but your brand new building. So we stripped all of that away, and we're proposing to use a fritted glass system where it's very condensed up at the top, and then as it comes down, it sort of lightens up, it lightens up to allow more sun through. So it'll control more of the sun. We've also decided to, instead of using spandrel, which can be more expensive, we're going to keep the glass up at the top and use an interior soffit to control sunlight. And we'll also have, as always intended, interior shades. So that was in the preliminary schematic design budget, and we'll continue bringing that forward into this scope as well. The other thing we worked a lot on was the interior pavilion, and I'm circling it right now, the stair. It doesn't look like too much different, but this was very painstaking to review with the civil engineer, because if you recall, we shifted that second floor entrance about 6 feet, which means we lost 4 inches in the parking lot. And as you know, an inch on this site is like a mile. So we had to do a lot of tweaking and reworking, and to the naked eye, it all looks the same, thankfully, but a lot of work went into this. And what we decided here was, where I'm sort of circling, is instead of just having one really long stair, we thought this would be better broken up with some planters to bring some of that life in. And also you can see they're double high and double wide to sort of give us that amphitheater feel that we were thinking, if you wanted to open up the doors from the meeting room and have this indoor outdoor space. So this isn't furniture, and it's not like somebody can just walk off with it. This is going to be built into the site, concrete stairs, probably have bluestone treads. Still working through that, but that was the development here, and this is sort of where we're going. And then you can see some of the fritted glass. And also, I should explain, I realize I didn't really explain what fritted glass means. It basically means that there's just a vinyl, or like a frosted, it's like frosted glass, but it's done with a vinyl that is applied on the interior face of the glazing to help control sun. And the vinyl will have different levels of opacity depending on how much sun we want to come in or out, how much control we want to have. I do have the other elevations. They're very similar to before. You can see a little bit of the sun shading here. Like I mentioned, it's a very light addition. It's definitely the most cost-effective addition into the project as far as controlling sun. So this elevation hasn't changed too much. We're probably going to pop in a window on this side to get into some of these deeper spaces, but I'm going to go back to this one and sort of see if anyone had any questions about the documents, or about the solar shading or the patio design, and we're just plugging along.
Mallory, are the updated drawings on Dropbox?
Yeah.
They are not. They won't be released until the DD set is due. They're just very much in progress.
Okay.
Yeah. Mallory, is the shading, is any tree plantings considered for shading as well?
So there's no actual like mature trees that are being proposed close to the building, like sort of like right here. We were trying to keep it low so that you don't block the views out, but also the views in. And as far as the backside, there's not much space to plant a mature tree. So right now, no, but if that's something that we want to look into, that would be totally fine. One of the places we could think about it is maybe over here at Upper West Main.
Mallory, I just
Yeah.
want to jump in. That right now there is a very large tree that's basically right in front of the glass, and we're not planning on removing that. We haven't shown it because it sort of would block most of the view of the architecture that we're trying to present. So we don't have any strong plans to get rid of that right now or remove that tree right now. But we need to do some additional studies to see how it needs to get trimmed back, if it needs to get trimmed back. So we need to start to look at that too. So we understand that losing trees is a very sensitive subject in most communities. So
And on that stretch of road, specifically when they did the widening, there was a big effort by the community to preserve those trees. They were going to be chopped. So they were saved.
I should have said, so do you see these two trees down here where I'm pointing to?
Right.
One that's floating on the car we'll have to fix. So the as Drayton mentioned, and I did completely forget, but we hadn't been showing it just because it would block everything. These trees also continue down the line as well. But to answer your original question, we weren't planning to plant new trees only because the site is aggressive grading wise, but also on Witherby Street, we just don't have the width that you need to grow a mature tree. Not to say there would be plantings, but nothing to provide sun shading.
So my only question, and then the other buildings that have used this fritted glass and their experience with the need for shading and temperature control inside, for the end user as well. So
that's my question too, Steve. Who's used that, and can we talk to them?
It's been used in Webster.
Yeah, I've seen it in Webster.
Yeah.
We want to clarify though, we're not proposing what's at Webster with like the jagged frits, like the little lines. It would be much more controlled and like of a continuous nature to we feel Webster was a little too busy maybe with the fritted glass.
That was one of my projects. I'll just interject. But maybe for next time, Mallory, you can show some images of different kinds of places where it has been used successfully.
Right. Yes.
Because I'm not crazy about the Webster. Sorry, Alicia. And some variations on that would be helpful. Yeah. I'm also concerned about where's Andy? Andy, are you there?
Yep.
Andy, you know us in maintenance. I'm concerned about those planters and additional maintenance, but we can take a look at them.
In that courtyard area? Yeah. I really don't have a great view of it right now. My screen is really tiny. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
So I got nothing great here. I don't even understand fritted glass, really.
Andy, fritted glass is like a film that's applied to the interior of the glass, and it can either be done, in straight horizontal rows or in a geometric pattern. It's really whatever look you want. And what it basically does is create additional shading. It's done in a way that you can still see through it, depending on how thick or how much you want to shade out. And when I say shade, I mean see through it. I mean that if you can think of like horizontal stripes going across the glass, you can't see through where it's frosted, but because there's space in between, you can still see out.
I get it. Yeah. I understand now. Yeah. As far as the maintenance in the courtyard, I mean, we want it to look nice too. So
Right.
It's it's going to be kind of a showpiece there. I think it's going to be a nice part of the library, the outside part of it.
Yeah. Okay.
We can be
we
certain
want it to be we want it to be inviting to folks too,
Right.
We can be certain to pick like very low maintenance. I mean, we always strive to do that. Low maintenance plants that still fill out a planter bed, but aren't too aren't too aggressive and needy.
Yeah, that don't spread stuff everywhere.
Right. But we
or attract problems.
Right. We need to have green out there, or it's just going to feel like a concrete jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Margaret,
So moving sorry.
Sorry, Margaret, have you ever seen the Minneapolis, library for the city of Minneapolis?
I have not. Field trip.
Field trip, absolutely. That's a large, obviously very large city public library, and they had, and it was very much of a glass box, but they fritted the glass, which put a pattern on each side of the building, and each face was faced different things and had a different pattern. So like as I recall, they had like a wheat pattern to the west, because that was towards the plains and it blocked less of the glass of the vision, whereas the south, it had like a 70% frit. Then it had a graphic image about nature, so it blocked more of the sunlight, so it wasn't as bright there. And on the north side, they had a lighter. It was really nice. It's a really nice example. It's a different scale. It's a different project, but it was really nice. Mallory has some pictures, but there's.
I forgot you could see my screen.
Yep.
But it is.
There you
It's
go.
working perfect.
But it is a really beautiful project that successfully, I think, really nice job.
I'll take a look at it. Thank you.
Sure.
So yeah, we'll send some. We'll send some photos through of some samples of what we're looking for. But I also, in addition to this, sort of wanted to give you a heads up as far as like looking forward and where our next steps are. So I know a lot of LLB's presentations have been mainly so far about floor plans and the exterior design. So our next step will start to be to layer in the interior design. So we've got meetings set up, or we're trying to set up meetings to review some of the interior spaces. So what does the children's room feel like? The young adults room? The main stair will be a very big feature because it's connected to this exterior stair. So it'll be like an indoor-outdoor stair. So those are some of the points that we're going to highlight next and start reviewing with Margaret and the subcommittee. And in addition to that, tomorrow we have a meeting about the circulation desks, the service desks, and if they're millwork pieces. And then during this time, we're going to want to start to build at some point a furniture committee. I mean, not yet. You still have like a couple months to do that, but start thinking of folks who may want to be on the furniture and finishes committee. Usually it's a smaller committee, like maybe 4 or 5 people, just so that it kind of keeps it contained and not too many opinions. Sometimes that consists of staff members, people that aren't on your building committee but still want to be part of the library committee in some manner. So just to give you guys sort of a heads up of where we're looking.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions on the design that you've seen or the process moving forward?
Alicia, do you want to talk about just the fact that we're going to be looking into energy and?
Oh, yep. Good point. I forgot about that one. Because we are a lead building, and also because we're trying to be responsible, we have set up a charrette that we're looking to set up next week if the design team and their consultants will get back to me on that. To have a meeting to review the we review with the energy company. There's a series of incentive. It's a program that they have set up, and they are to engage them early in the design to make sure that the building is an energy efficient building. And if we engage them early, follow their rules and do their things, there's incentives that are built in that will be paid back to the library. And besides it being an energy efficient building, there are incentives that will pay back. So we're going to be start those that energy charrette. I'm hoping to set it up next week, if not the week after.
Great.
So that's good. But that's pretty much, and yep, that's all I got. And for schedule, we'll review that. But the design development documents are going to be due in June. We're going to estimate those, and so we'll know how we're doing budget wise. I think we may also want to take try to. We'll review the budget when the estimates come in, and we'll understand all those pieces. That's all I got. I'm going to stop talking. Babbling.
I have a question.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I do. Can you build a project in accordance with LEED, but save a pile of money by not going for certification?
That's not true, because there is money available through the MBLC. They give you enough money to basically pay for LEED. It's
Okay.
a separate, it's an in addition grant. So the money that we have is one thing, but they have a, right? Drayton's giving me a funny face.
No,
Yeah.
it's
So
true.
it's extra money.
That's a sprinkler face.
Well, he's emailed that. I couldn't tell if it looked like
Thank you,
shaking me off
Margaret.
like a
Thank
ball.
You're
Like,
welcome.
that it's extra money. It is extra money that is available that that LEED makes available, basically to cover the certification. It's not a profit venture. It's not going to cover anything else but the tedious, hateful paperwork associated with LEED for certification. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I tell you how I really feel about LEED? So yeah, so that's it. It's easy money, and it is basically pretty much 100% reimbursable.
Any other questions? Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So be.
Who made the motion, just for the record?
Oh, before you do, what's the next meeting?
Well, the next meeting would be, generally we've been meeting the third Thursdays, but I don't think we're going to have the cost estimate in hand by then. So is everybody comfortable waiting to July so we can review the cost estimate? Or do you want to meet interim without reviewing it? We can still meet. It'll be, another brief design update. Or does everybody want to hold out for?
Well, none of us will be on vacation, so none of us will be on vacation, so we'll still be.
There is that. You're all still housebound for a little bit longer. We all are.
And even if we're on vacation, we can still do this remotely because we'll probably have to.
But now that we can, everybody can bring their laptop with them. Yeah.
I think it's worth waiting for the estimate.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it makes any sense to meet until we have the estimate.
Okay, so I'm guessing probably mid-July. We can circulate a date, or we can try and guess on something now. What do you guys want to do?
Well, let's circulate a date.
Okay, we'll do that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Who made, sorry.
Who made the motion, please?
Tom.
Tom Abel.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Dennis.
Dennis Kavanaugh seconded. All those in favor?
Bye.
We didn't do a roll call.
Roll call.
Okay.
So
Really?
we'll do it
You could do a roll call by people hanging up.
again.
Good idea.
Sounds good.
So,
Be
Anybody
safe,
want to
everyone.
stay?
so roll call. Can I have Margaret? Are you in favor of adjourning?
I am indeed.
Andy, are you in favor of adjourning?
Yes, I am.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of trying to cut and paste here. John, are you in favor?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
Samantha?
Yes.
Steve?
I'd like to discuss it further.
I'm sorry, is someone bringing you like a little umbrella drink while you're there in bed?
No, my teddy bear. You see, I'm ready for bed. Oh,
Okay.
yes,
July.
please. Thank you.
I think you could get a little more color in that pillow.
And Tom Abel, are you ready to adjourn?
Yes.
Tom DePercio, are you ready to adjourn?
Yes.
All right. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Good
everybody.
night.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night.
Great evening.
Bye.
Good night, thank you.